Good morning. Today is Wednesday, March 3rd, and I hope all of you are staying safe and well. As you know, Rockford Public Schools has been in the face-to-face, in-person mode of instruction with students and teachers together in a classroom. Elementary students since last January 4, and our secondary students, grades 6 through 12, have been in a hybrid system through January, but then beginning the 1st of February, the secondary students have moved, of course, to face-to-face as well. And it's going extremely well in our teaching and learning model face-to-face. I know you've heard on the news and so forth that districts are beginning to move back to face-to-face instruction based upon the governor's recommendation, but Rockford has been in this particular modality for some time now, face-to-face. I want to continue to encourage people to wear masks while they're in schools. Our teachers, our students are required to wear masks, and our support staff are required to wear masks and will continue to be required to wear masks, simply because we know that they work in keeping students and staff safe. And that's based upon research from the CDC, from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, and of course from the Kent County Health Department. And so if you come into our buildings, we'll continue to ask you, as guests in our facilities, to wear a mask. I also want you to know that we're continuing to operate our Rockford virtual program. We have 850 students in that program right now, grades K through 12, whose parents choose to send their students to a virtual program rather than in the buildings with teachers face-to-face. But the program is going very well. I want to again congratulate our teachers, our support staff, our administration, and so forth, and our students for the work that they do during this very difficult time as we continue to experience the COVID pandemic. I applaud our staff and the work that they do, and I applaud our students as well for cooperating during this very difficult time. And I thank you as parents who also work with our schools to make a difference in the safety of our students and staff. Thank you. You know, one thing I want to bring up that was on the news, in fact, all over the national news and local news last week and this week, and that is we are going to be experiencing a significant drop in a shortage of teachers in our schools, nationwide, let alone the state of Michigan and locally. Colleges of education across the United States have experienced a 50% drop in 18-year-olds who choose to go into education as a profession. That is significant. In fact, for the last 7 to 8 years, I've been talking about this potential problem, which is now becoming a problem, and talking with our state legislators as well as our deans of the colleges of education in the state of Michigan about this concern. And now it's going to literally, in reality, going to begin to happen. I'm concerned about that. I'm concerned about the fact that 18-year-olds are choosing other opportunities and professions to go into when they go to college. I'm also concerned that we have a number of staff, teachers in particular, not only across the country but in Michigan and in the Kent County area, who are retiring early. And that could be for a number of reasons, but I'm sure one may be the pandemic that we've been challenged with. So I can tell you this much, we will be aggressively interviewing and selecting teachers of high quality in the months and years to come, because there's going to be intense competition among school districts for teachers because of this rising loss of people going in to become teachers and so forth. So if you have a child who is considering their profession for if they plan to go to college, I ask you to ask them to consider teaching as a profession. I want to talk a little bit about testing, achievement testing. As you know, as parents of kindergarten through 8th grade students, last fall we gave the NWEA achievement test to our students. We did the same this winter, the NWEA. You've received your child's test results if they're in grades K through 8. And we'll be giving the spring test of the NWEA after spring break. I think it's important to know that we take accountability seriously, and we believe that our teachers and principals need the test results of students, which is nationally normed test, to see how our students are doing when it comes to teaching and learning. And we'll continue to use those tests, but I've been told that the state of Michigan, through the state legislature, and the Michigan Department of Education are considering using the M-STEP test this spring. That is a test that is given only once a year. It only gives a snapshot of student achievement, not like the NWA, which we give 3 times a year, that we can actually charter and follow student achievement to see where are the areas that we need to improve upon, what are the areas we need to improve upon in teaching and learning, and to help students and parents identify weaknesses and address those weaknesses. This M-STEP will probably be used this spring, K through 12, will be something that is a snapshot. And quite frankly, I think we need to do a better job at the state level and the national level in selecting norm reference tests to determine how students are doing and how we can help to improve student achievement. On another issue, I'm really impressed with the fact that our Assistant Superintendent for HR, Corey Wilson-Crawford, and our Assistant Superintendent for Instruction, Mike Ram, have been visiting all of our schools in the district to interview people, teachers in particular, to find out how they are doing during this COVID and what are ways that we can do a better job in supporting them. And so it's great to report to you that these individual building interviews have gone very well. Staff have signed up to talk to both Corey and Mike, and the information we're receiving will be very useful in working towards improving the building and instructional environments of our schools. So I thank those two, Mike and Corey, for doing what they've been doing the last several weeks. Now I'd like to conclude my presentation by talking about winter sports and the status of winter sports. The Michigan High School Athletic Association is the governing body of high school sports in Michigan. They have established rules and regulations that we must follow, and if we don't, the potential exists that those individual sports could be stopped, eliminated for the rest of the winter sports season. So I encourage anyone who attends our athletic events must follow the rules and regulations set by the High School Athletic Association. In winter sports, every student athlete is given 2 guest passes that are primarily used, obviously, for the students' parents. And that's the way it has to be. I mean, that's just the way it is. Now, when it comes to basketball, because there's fewer number of students participating, each student athlete will get 2 tickets. Our senior athletes, those who are seniors, will be given 4 tickets. The 2 additional ones would be available for grandparents and other family members. But we need to follow the rules and regulations to keep students and adults safe and to be able to follow our athletic program and support our athletic program. Remember that we are live streaming the winter sports, and therefore you have an opportunity, if you choose, to watch this competition online. Spring sports are now being scheduled, and I fully expect that we'll have our spring sports program in place as well when that is scheduled to begin. So I think I probably well covered most of the areas right now for today. I hope you all have a safe and healthy week, and I look forward to talking to you next Wednesday on March 10th. Thank you.